allergies or...
Okay, we're on.
Okay. Oh.
Hey, everybody. Can everybody hear me and see me, just to kind of confirm? This is my first YouTube live, so I'm not sure. I don't see the comments. Am I missing something? Michael?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Hey. Okay. Hi, everyone. Yay. Here we go. I've never done YouTube live, so we'll see how that goes. Hey, everyone. Hey. Cool. All right. So welcome. Before I begin, I have a couple of announcements. The movie Superhuman is finally coming out in June. We had to take a little bit of time to do the subtitles. It's going to be available everywhere worldwide, and so that's the reason why it's taking a little bit longer. But even with that, I think it's a better timing, because we had planned on March, and look what happened in March. We're a mess. It's a mess. And so I think it's all good. So watch for that. Go to the website, superhumanfilm.com, and click on Get Updates, and you will get an update as soon as it's out, or you can pre-order. So watch out for that. Super, super exciting. This is not just a film. This is some serious, important material. So I'm counting on you guys to watch it and spread the word, okay? More to come. Classes also, I'm sorry, I have been wanting to do classes, and it's taken a little longer because we had to update our website a little bit. And so just be patient. Same thing, just get updates and we will let you know. So that's about it in terms of announcements for today. But before I begin, I just wanted to say thank you to, I have Michael and Lori with me here, helping me with this webcast. So I'm going to be talking a little bit, but then Michael is going to help me take your questions. So if you have questions, type them in, and then Michael will be able to help us with that. In fact, Michael, you want to just say real quick hi?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on, Caroline. I'll be here in the chat, everybody. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them on in the live chat, and then I will let Caroline know.
Awesome. Were you able to hear? Everything is clear? Awesome. So, awesome. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to start talking. Some people are from the Netherlands, from Europe. Awesome. So, okay, first we're going to talk about all the weird stuff. What's going on? Don't panic. It's very, very strange and weird. We know that. So let me talk about some of that first, and then down the road, I mean, a little bit later, we will talk about the positive stuff. But even as I'm talking, you know, I was trying to take, you know, get some notes together for today, but there's so much stuff, and it kind of goes in all those different directions. So honestly, if I miss something, just go ahead and type your question, and we will address it, okay? So let me talk for 5 or 10 minutes, and then if I missed one of the points of the topics, just because there's just so much stuff going on, just go ahead and type your questions, and then we'll go from there, okay? So, Corona, what's up with that? Super, super weird stuff. But this was a choice that was made, and it's now taking a whole new trajectory. It's almost like there's no stopping from here. This was, to me, it was a biological system, but that was enhanced with technology. And so the virus itself feels like it's not that potent, but because it has human-made components, technology added to it, it changes the information. It changes what it does to the body and how it spreads. And so because of that, I think that it's gotten out of control. And so I talked about the 5G. I talked about the network of information, the Internet of Things, for those who watch that on my website. I said that this gives the ability of any information to be spread very, very quickly around the world. And I think that's what's happening. But now, I know that's what's happening. But now it's almost like it's too late, because there's no turning back. This information has spread into society in such a way that it created already the trajectory for us, if you will. And so there's already a lot of fear for a lot of people. But also a lot of people are questioning, are going like, wait, this doesn't even make sense. There's something else. There are agendas. We know there are agendas. It is so obvious there are agendas. And so, but what is the agenda? The main agenda? Of course, there's many things going on behind the scenes, but we're concerned with just the things that impact us on a daily basis, let's say. Because some people are talking about, you know, like people getting arrested, and child pornography, and child molestation, and human trafficking. There's all that stuff going on in the back, you know, kind of in the behind the scenes. But what's important right now, I think, one of the things to focus on is that they've made it so that it is going in one direction, creating more and more separation and isolation. And now they're saying, well, if you didn't get the virus, then you're a danger to society. And if you did get the virus, then you're a danger to society. So either way, and if you got it, you can still get it again. So either way, you are a danger to society. So there is no way we can go back to normal from here. It's too late. That trajectory has already been created. And if everybody is a danger to society, this only will lead to a vaccine. Perfect plan, perfect scenario. You know, everybody's a target, everybody's danger to everybody else. The only way out is vaccine. And so that is the plan. That is the main plan. So of course, let me talk about the economy and stuff in a second. Like I said, there's like so many things going on. And so because of that, you know, you have to be prepared. You have to know, okay. So there's a question apparently. Michael, is there a question right now already, or should I keep going?
There is, Caroline. Stephanie asks, can you talk about the vaccine, and will it have a biological and technological aspect? And if so, how can we protect ourselves from the requirement of having to get one?
Yeah, so that's why, let me talk, so that's what I'm saying. That is where this is going. You know, the vaccine is going to be mandatory. And also with that is going to be a lot of laws, like, you know, you can't travel to this place, you can't, different states are going to do different things, different communities are going to do different things. And so you're not going to be able to cross from one place to another without having a piece of paper, but then the piece of paper can be fabricated, so it's going to be a tattoo. So, I mean, it's so obvious that that is the plan, and that, you know, it's not even like, you know, deep state stuff. It's like so obvious. So, but the idea is, what do you do? Well, I think it's connected to other things, but the point of this is to keep you isolated, to keep you separated. And so right now you are, you know, in your own space, but start to think when you can't go visit other people in another state and come back and things like that. And so I feel that this is the first wave, and there's going to be like kind of a breather, you know, a little bit, some openings going back to normal, supposedly, where you can cross from one place to another, and then go to, there will be another wave. And I'm not talking about a virus wave, like it's going to come with the flu. I'm talking about other stuff waves, like stuff with the economy, stuff with the law, stuff with social unrest, And so it's really like multi-layered, multi-dimensional. So it's not just like one thing. And so with this second wave is more and more restriction, more and more isolation, more and more laws being implemented. And so because of that, you're going to have to find the breaks, you know, between these waves, where you can find eventually a space for you that is safe. And I'm saying this because I'm moving forward. Like I said, this is a trajectory that's already been created. There's no turning back. It's not like all of a sudden, oh, this was like a Spanish flu, everything's back to normal. No way. And so if you keep going in this direction, because it's affecting politics, it's affecting the economy, obviously, it's affecting the financial system, it's affecting housing, it's affecting employment, obviously, it's affecting every part of your life. And so you're going to have to, if you fast forward, I feel there's going to be this first wave, second wave, third wave, each time more restrictions, more problems, until for another year and a half. And I feel like at some point in 2022 to 23, around that time, I feel like wherever you are, you're going to be stuck there for a long time. And so it's almost like you're going to have to make your way to get to this safe place where you're going to be able to survive without, you know, obviously, because of all the stuff that's going to be happening, just like you are right now, except with less access to food, less access to stuff, and also less access to communication. And sorry, I'm not trying to scare you, but also power outages. And I'm not talking about a day or two, but I'm talking 2-3 weeks at a time. 2-3 weeks of power outages, and I'm talking 20, like I said, 22. This is kind of how it kind of, you know, it kind of gradually gets us to that place. So with power outages, 2 to 3 weeks at a time, that is huge. Do you realize how much stuff gets disrupted when you are without those kinds of resources? But again, there's a good news. Don't worry, don't worry. Right now, I'm talking about all the weird stuff. So you have to kind of start from now, plan your way, vaccine or no vaccine, because it's all part of the picture, to find your way. Where do you feel you should be, you can be, where you are safe, you can have access to, you know, a relative amount of you know, food and water and stuff like that, housing, and also survive without electricity and communication. Of course, there's always like ham radios and stuff like that, but I'm talking about internet, phones, you know, just think about that. And so but the good news is, I have to slip in a couple of good news because it's like too much. People are like, okay, yeah, I know, it's really scary. So, but the good news is that is the time where everything, speaking of shutdown, everything is completely quieting down on the earth across. But what starts to happen is the surging of new energy and new information and new ways of communication. So it's almost like you have to get to that point to start over. You can't start over in the mess. It's almost like you're trying to clean up your room and it's full of piles of clothes and piles of garbage, and you're trying to put your new stuff and your new paradigm, you know, stuff in the other side. You can't. And even if you take one pile out and you have all the other piles, you know, and you start putting your new things in, it doesn't work because you can't coexist. At one point, you're going to have to flush it out and start over in a way. And so because of that, it requires that the earth stands still. Wasn't there a movie called Stand Still? So it has to stand still in a way for that amount of time to bring the balance of everything, all areas, not just like you know, vaccines or whatever, but the economy and the politics and all that stuff. You know, to find a way that's close enough to the reset point so that you can start a new paradigm and new systems and to be put in place. Does that make sense? And so I warned you it's going to be a little weird in the beginning, but I will get to the good stuff in a little while. So what this means is, why is all of this happening? I talked about this last time, and I feel that this has to do with the, globalization, plan, this deep state, even within the deep state. Not, first of all, there's more than one deep state, I think, and even within the deep state, there are different agendas. It's like, it's not as perfect as we think. The whole cabal, thing, and this whole kind of like bad guys or whatever, kind of engineering this whole thing. It sounds very scary and it looks very scary, and it is very scary. I mean, look around. But if you really, really take time, which we're going to get to in a little while, to really see what's happening, it's actually not so perfect, and it's very, very flawed, and there's many problems with it, and it's not really succeeding as you think it is. Okay, and so this globalization wants to break down the system. You have to break down the economy. You have to shut down. You have to kind of make people be so afraid and so needing control that you have to wrap it all together and come up with a system that is easy to control. And so how do you do that? You do that by digitizing everything. Everything becomes digital. So that's why I mentioned to you guys to go back to this presentation I did on my website, because I talked about how when you digitize everything, you press a button, and whatever you do is global, affects the whole planet. Financial. This is the way to introduce a digital currency, for example. They're going to say, you know what, your money is this, the economy is doing that. So you have $10,000 in the bank. Don't worry, you're still going to have it, but it'll be digital because it's going to be so easy for you, so that no matter where you are, you can't get to the bank. The money, is paper, is polluted, it has virus, blah, blah, blah. All this convincing you that digital is the way to go. And so because of that, they are setting up the fear-based plan, or justification, so that you voluntarily say, of course I'll get vaccinated. Of course I'll just, get all my money in one, in one click of a button. It makes perfect sense. A lot of people are gonna think this is like perfect, and it kind of makes sense. I understand why they would do that. But all of it has to come together in order for it to be a world government, so to speak. It has to be automated. And so this is the reason why this is happening. So this is kind of like the much bigger picture and like dark plan, But in a weird way, and again, I have to slip in some positive here. In a weird way, they're actually setting up the stage for down the road to 2026, to a unification of the world. And I'll get to that in a second. So, but right now, this is the agenda, this is the power, this is the control thing that they're going after. And a lot of people are going for it. And of course, we're not. And a lot of people are not also. And so this is, shall I stop here for a second and see? So this is kind of like, did I cover everything? I hope. So this is kind of the bigger story, and how this virus fits within that story, and how it's all, that's why we have to break down the economy. And of course, those who are still holding on to the old paradigm economy, we're printing more money, we're printing more stuff, like as if nothing happened, like more money, is going to help the economy. But actually, at the end of the day, like I was saying, even though this globalization is supposed to be for a dark purpose, actually it's helping break down the systems. And you have to break down the systems in order for the new paradigm to be born down the road. Again, you cannot put in the new paradigm, a new type of political system, a new type of economy when you have this economy. You just can't. You can't have free energy when you have this type of fossil fuel control based energy system. You can't. It's either or, because you get kicked out, you get eaten out, eaten alive. And so that's the reason why you have to abolish the system. Don't be afraid when I say break down the system. Don't be afraid. These systems are corrupt. These systems don't work. These systems are based on fear, control, separation. Only a couple of people get to enjoy, and everybody else has to struggle and suffer and get, you know, stupid, boring jobs just to kind of pay rent. I mean, what kind of a life is that? I don't think humanity or any intelligent life is supposed to come in and have such a small purpose. You know, it doesn't even make sense just for certain folks to have that sort of pleasure of life, and everybody else at the expense of everybody else. This is a corrupt system. So don't be afraid when we say the system has to be broken down. It has to be broken down for the free energy, which is coming in 2026, which I'm going to talk about in a second, can come in. Think about this. If everyone has energy, everybody has energy. I have energy from my house to grow my own plants or whatever, water. I have energy to fuel my house, my car, everything I need, and you do, and everybody else does, then there is no need for me to take over you. There's no need for wars. There's no need for me to compete with you, because we all have the basic things, the basic needs covered. We are fine. And so that is what needs to happen in order for this planet and for humanity to finally be saved, so to speak. And so you can't have that at the same time as you have the current system. Does that make sense? So in a weird way, as we are looking at the, I mean, come on, it's been a pathetic display of human incompetence in leadership, in, you know, in any sort of thing. Medical science is, nobody can tell us anything, or are they telling us to confuse us, which anyway, we're confused, which is good, because this person is telling us one story, this other person, this government guy tell us that this other guy doesn't know what he's talking about, vice versa, blame, finger pointing, and in a way confusing everybody. But in a way it's good, because when you watch him, you start to believe, and then you watch that guy, you start to believe. You realize that you can't trust anybody. You can't believe anybody. And that is a good thing. I mean, it's supposed to be that government should be there, you know, should be helping you figure things out, but it's not. I mean, look at it, it's obvious. And so if the government is not helping you when you need it, you know, then you can't trust it. If corporations can't help you when you need them, like drugs or whatever, medicines or whatever, or hospitals, when those corporations can't help you when you need them, then what is the point? You lose trust. If you don't have trust in government, you don't have trust in corporation, you don't have trust in the system, the only person that you can turn back to, that you can trust, is yourself. And that's the reason why I love this in a way, because it's so obvious. It's in your face. I mean, look at what, I don't know what it is doing in Europe. I'm not paying too much attention. But in the US, the president tells us one thing, the governor tells us another thing, then the CDC tells us another thing, and they're talking in contradiction with each other. So who do you trust? Just the guy that you think, you know, makes sense? Or do you say, okay, stop, stop. What you're saying doesn't, you know, and so that's the reason why this is so incredibly empowering. In the middle of this craziness and this chaos, there is no, everything is so blunt, it's in our face. It's forcing us to go back to who we are and to trust no one. And I talked about this many times. With AI, you're not even going to be able to tell what is fake. Was this person even real when they told us this? And it's going to get worse and worse. And so that is the reason why this is a time to, within this craziness, within this chaos, within this scary stuff, to strengthen yourself. I'm going to get to that in a second. I think I give a pretty good overall picture of the dark stuff. So let's see if I forgot to mention something before we go into the positive, and why also, not only on a spiritual level, but in a bigger, like a divine plan story, so to speak, why this is so important. I had talked about that all the trajectories, whatever they are, this time, this corona thing started this new trajectory. There are other trajectories kind of in parallel with this. But all of this, whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, for those who have been studying with me, understand. But for the new folks, I talk about it in my book, The Divine Plan, Beyond 2250. And so it's almost like a sphere. Okay, just look at it as a sphere. The consciousness of the divine plan always has a potential and the ultimate goal to be one, or to be one with the universe. That is, it's kind of ingrained within creation itself. It's like part of the DNA of creation. You are created, the planets are created to remain part of the whole. And so the whole, now the new whole, this divine plan, if you can imagine, like the consciousness is like a sphere. And inside this sphere, this guy is creating this guy is creating a vaccine, and this guy is creating, some big, scary agenda. And this guy is like looking for ways to make money off of you and whatever. So there's all these trajectories and the cabal and la, 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 all these things. No matter where you are within this sphere, the end result is the same boundary, because it's a sphere. And that boundary is the oneness. In other words, no matter what is being created, you end up at this boundary, because you're not bigger than the universe. Whatever agendas are being created here locally, even though it sounds so scary, like, wow, globalization, one world government, it's so big. Yeah, but it's still one planet. And guess what? This planet is not the beginning of all. Okay, this planet is part of a universe, is part of a galaxy, a multiverse. And so there's bigger than this planet. So you can have all of the agendas you want, as long as you're controlling one planet, you're still within that larger divine plan. And so there's no escape, sorry. And so you see how, but on a daily basis, it sucks, because we're inside and we're having to feel and experience this agenda and that agenda, and having to, at the same time, go back and figure out who we are. So I'm going to get to that in a second. Maybe I should stop here, Michael. What do you think? Let's see, did I miss something with this the dark side first? Let me know if I missed something. If there are any questions that are relevant that I didn't cover.
No problem. There are a lot of great questions in chat. Thanks again for everyone that's watching and participating. And if you like watching Carol and Cory live, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you won't miss another live stream. Several questions are related to this change, Caroline.
Yeah.
And what about the banking system? Should people invest in precious metal? Should it be in digital currency? Should they store cash at home? What will happen with this great change with no electricity and a chaotic money system?
Yeah, that's a great question. I talked about last time communities creating their own currency. So we're going to see more and more of that. And guess what? In the United States, there's one state that has its own currency. Did you guys know that? Did you know that, Michael?
I did not.
Guess what state it is?
You've got me there.
Utah. Utah has its own currency that you can use, and it's also backed by gold. Think about that. Just think about that for a second. One of the states that's part of the United States has legally its own currency that can be used within the state. And no, wait, hold on. People from outside can purchase it, but it's only to be used within the state. So think about that. Do they know something we don't? And so because of that, I would say, so to answer the question, I feel that this is going to digital, this is going to blockchain on some level, but in the old system, I would, it's hard for me to, because again, like this is all human created. And so I don't like I have to see, like, as we keep moving forward, I feel like right this moment there's no danger, but probably within, I want to say, like 6 months to a year, I want to say you will start to kind of get a sense. I would always have actual gold if possible, but I'm not, honestly, I'm not an expert on like when to buy or how to buy. This is not my field at all. But I'm saying it's always beneficial to have the actual gold and silver and things like that anyway. So if you want to watch those markets and do that, so there's always, that always works. I feel like I said, I think in terms of current, because they're going to try to keep this economy going. Look how much money they're printing to give us to keep this economy going. I mean, it is kind of sad that we're pretending that let's keep giving people money to keep working, or keeping their jobs or keeping them survive in this old system that we control. I mean, how messed up is this? So don't be afraid, again, of, even if we say the money will collapse, keep the bigger picture and down the road. So anyway, to answer your question, I would say, you know what, I'm going to address that, like I said, because I feel like they're creating all kinds of things within that. So I would say in 6 months to a year, you will know more clearly what to do with your personal money. And in the meantime, see when you are ready, or when you can start to purchase the actual gold and silver and stuff like that. Was that helpful?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because this is human. Like, they keep creating and changing. So I don't want, because what I'm seeing now is not necessarily, like, it's not a long term. So that's why I want to revisit that question in 6 months, or 3 to 6 months.
Do you think that there's a safer place to be compared to others? And I'm going to tie in another question here.
Yes.
Do you think that any earth or physical changes, yes, cosmically or otherwise, will be happening in conjunction with this?
Exactly. Perfect. So yes, there are places that are safer, but it depends on you. In other words, if I say, oh, there's a place that's safe, in Europe, it doesn't mean that everybody should go there, because it depends on you. So it's really like it depends on your needs. It depends on your alignment as well. And so you have to start from now, I would say, start feeling and sensing, where am I going to be drawn? Needless to say that big cities are going to be much more difficult, because you're navigating, you're part of, like, crowds and people and information and all kinds of stuff. And so it's easier, needless to say, if you are already in a smaller, kind of more remote area. Doesn't mean you have to go to like somewhere in a mountain and isolate yourself. I'm just saying a little bit more where there's more space, a little bit less people, obviously is better than a big city. Some people are going to have to, like I said, go to a more remote place. And so there are many, many places on the earth that will, that are very, very aligned and perfect for those times. You're just going to have to feel for yourself what works for me and for my family, and start to gradually make plans and navigate. And in some ways also you're going to be forced, because this is where I'm glad you brought this up, because yes, and that is how the breakdowns in power structures and other things, and also to stop some of the things that are happening. I talked about this many times. When humans are creating whatever agenda they're creating, it's all here. People always forget, like I said earlier, that they're contained within a divine order, whether they like it or not. I know it. I know exactly what I'm talking about there. Sorry. I can't prove it to you in a lot of ways, but I can tell you for sure that there's a larger divine order that will step in at the time where humanity, when humanity has created something to the point of self-destruction that becomes detrimental to the universe, to the cosmos. Because again, you know, it's not like, oh, you know, they're interfering with our free will and humans can create what they want. No, because humans and planet Earth, it's like one cell within a body. So the body, if the one cell is acting weird, the body has a natural, it's kind of response. It's like the immune system of the universe to protect itself, because life is based on thriving. It's a natural, it's within the DNA of the universe. It thrives. So if one of the cells wants to self-destruct, it could self-destruct locally, but it's not going to self-destruct to a point that it affects all the other cells. And so because of that, that's what I'm talking about, the divine order. The larger consciousness has within its DNA, its texture, it's based on unconditional love. It's based on love and freedom. So that is the fabric and the DNA of the larger divine order. And that's what I mean, like a step in. It's not like they're interfering and stopping you. That's what I mean by that. It will come in exactly at the time where this cell is gone crazy and it's now destroying other cells. And so because of that, the way it steps in, you know, some people want UFOs and extraterrestrial to land, and this is another subject, but the way this happens is the natural ability of the earth. I mean, look at what's happening to the earth right now. It's breathing, you know, and so in the same way, sometimes you need to attract a meteor exactly at that time, at the right spot, or a massive earthquake that brings up floods and all kinds of things, or, you know, volcanoes under the water erupting and creating a chain reaction. This is what the immune system of the universe, of the planet, will get triggered to save itself. And so that is the reason why this will be happening as well. Again, you know, think about this. You know, if we go into fear, like, oh my God, so what's more scary? I mean, really, let's keep pretending that none of this happens, and you just keep on going with your daily life. You think you are happy. A lot of people have jobs they doesn't even make sense. They have financial problems, health problems, you know, governments doesn't work. Nothing works. You're a prisoner in this society, in this consciousness, in this, you know, in this grid or whatever it is. And so I mean, like, really, is this what you came to do? I don't think so. I feel like, as scary and crazy as all of this seemed to be, and like, oh my God, earthquakes or whatever, you know, you have to kind of understand that you're here for a bigger purpose. You didn't come just to get a job and buy a house and get a dog and that's that. You know, and so because of that, I think we have to keep shifting our perception and shift from the fear of oh my God to oh my God, this is finally happening. You know, to me, I'll get to that. Let's see, Michael, is there anything else that I missed in terms of, you know, all this stuff? That was a great question with the money.
Absolutely. I think we're at a great point to continue here. There's one more question in chat. Can we upgrade our physical or cellular structure to be able to cope with electromagnetic frequencies, things like 5G, for instance?
This is coming in the good part. So nothing else in terms of like the whole agenda.
I think it was pretty much covered.
Okay, cool.
We covered
Great.
banking system, energy,
Yeah.
Changes in the cosmic changes as well,
Yeah.
in conjunction with that.
Great. So let's, the energy thing, like, it's insane. Like, it's just, anyway, okay. So let's go to what's happening in the positive sense. Okay, needless to say, the earth is finally breathing, and it's like, it's so blunt in our face. Look at what we're doing to the earth, to the water, to the animal kingdom, you know? And so we are polluting this environment like crazy. And so, you know, the positive is that the more we, this isolation or whatever is helping us refocus on our role every time we step outside and we interact with the earth and its environment. And so this is huge, again, because again, I always think about the first question. If you have to keep asking, if there's one question that you have to keep if there's one question that you have to keep asking yourself every day, is what did I come here to do? What is my role here? And so when you ask that question, everything starts to change in your perception of what is happening in your daily life, whether it's this mess or something else. And so the positive about all of this is that you're home, you are having to face yourself again and re-question every aspect of your life. And I guarantee, because in a strange way, what's happening now is a trauma on a collective level. It's like, you know, something happened. So you're in kind of like in a post-traumatic, not quite post, but you're in that trauma. And when you're in the trauma, you ask all kinds of questions. What just happened? Why? What am I supposed to do with this? What's happening to me? So when you ask these questions, you are rethinking every area of your life, not just your job. Like for those who lost their jobs are now worried about money, but you also, then you start to ask yourself, why do I even want this job? Do I even want this job? Do I even like this job? And also, so when you ask these questions now, it's not just you, it's the collective. It's people who have never asked these questions before. That's what I'm saying. So on a collective level, this is a huge healing to stop. Just stop what you're doing. Go back and ask a question about every area of your life. And even if they're jobs, supposedly the economy will reopen and we're all going to like jump in and we go back doing the same thing. A lot of people are going to have different feelings. They're not going to be able to just jump in. And so to me, this overall, this collective trauma makes you reset, to kind of say, you know, I'm starting with a clean slate. I'm going to make sure that's the job that I like. That is the environment that I want to be in every day. These are the relationships I want to have, especially if you're in a family. There are some struggles and things like that, or children. You're all together. You're having to reassess and readjust and rethink. This is a huge positive healing thing that is happening right now because of this. So having said that, for those of you who are more aware, more conscious, you know, even those who are already kind of conscious and asking these questions, I guarantee that on a daily basis, even your emotions are very different. I'm sure, in fact, I would love to hear your comments. I'm sure you are gravitating from, ooh, you know, I kind of like this kind of quiet, you know, it's kind of interesting. At the same time, you kind of go up and down and with anxiety. Have you felt also suddenly very depressed out of nowhere? You have this sense of depression and sadness. And so all of these strange feelings that are popping up have to do, again, with the reassessing of your energy. And also, I don't know how many of you, if you want to let me know, but also a lot of you who are sensitive, yeah, exactly. So because you're no longer being able to touch someone, you know, other than, of course, your close family or whoever is living with you. But, you know, you're kind of like re-questioning even the social norm, you know. And so because of that, it's like this trauma is making you rethink your human, like your being. How do I exist in this body, in this reality? How do I connect? How do I touch? How do I even how do I eat? How do I don't know how many of you are having a new relationship with your clothes. You know, are you hanging out in your jammies all day? With food, are you having different feelings about food, for example? Also, I don't know how many of you can feel that they're being upgraded. And so that feeling you could feel electricity going up and down your body. It's like just like electricity. Also, who's having strange physical symptoms, like wobbliness, dizziness, like kind of just like electricity, like, you know, like this vibrations in the head? Let me know if any of you are having those types of symptoms, if you will. Not corona symptoms, just those kinds of reactions. And all of these, not just the emotions, but these magnetic, this sort of electricity going up and down your body has to do with you upgrading you, so that whatever comes to you, you're going to be a lot more immune. So this goes back to the vaccine, goes back to the 5G, goes back to all of this. This does not mean you have to go out and start hugging and kissing everybody. It just means that you are getting, yes, the ringing in the ears. Who's getting those like more than ever? Of course, we've had them a lot. So it doesn't mean that you just go out and go crazy and start, you know, hugging and coughing with people. It just means that, and it's perfect. Look at this. You're home. You're in your space, in your comfort space. You're not stuck somewhere, you know, in a foreign country or something. And so it's like a perfect, and you're not obligated to go to work or function like a normal person. So this time is for you. It's a perfect time for you to get this upgrade. And yes, so if you're feeling wobbly, if you feel off balance, if you feel electricity, more ringing in the ears, and also like a kind of like a gong, you know, in your head, this is all higher vibration upgrades. So I'm going to take let's see if anybody has questions about that, because this is super important, because this is going to give you the strength, not only to you're going to be able to combat not just viruses and stuff like that, but even transmute vaccines. And I'm not suggesting that you're going to have to take the vaccine. We'll talk about that later. But I'm just saying, like, it's giving you a sort of immunity that is different than, you know, just a normal like vitamin C and zinc type of immunity. It is changing your electrical system in a way that's never been done before. So let's see, Michael, is there anything on that? Because this is hugely important.
No questions specifically, but lots of comments and physical changes. Manuela talks about ringing in the ears, which is new. Kim mentions lost sense of time. Another listener, ringing in the ears, feeling like they feel the earth vibrating, sinus pressures, heart issues, just different changes physically.
Yes, exactly. So that is also going to change. So the balance thing, this is all the grid. It's you're being kind of replugged into the new grid. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, just go to my books and my classes, CarolineCory.com. But anyway, so you're going to need that to eventually bypass this Internet of Things that I mentioned before, that holds all of the AI and 5G together, this whole structure network that's already in place. It's in the satellite. And also, you guys, you know, you don't realize there's so much more going on that you were not even aware of. I mean, you're not paying attention to. For example, in the sky. Like we're right now, we're worried about the corona and this and that and the planet. But in the sky, I mean, in the atmosphere and beyond the atmosphere and all of that, there's a huge, huge amount of mess. Okay, so it's like it's the debris, it's satellites that are just like not functioning, just hanging out there, and all kinds of toxic material, paint, human stuff, you know, all kinds of stuff that is stuck in the atmosphere. And so what this means is that, as not the lower atmosphere obviously, but you know, and so because of that, it's also affecting your magnetism, and so it's like messing you up. And so a lot of this, while this mess is going on the earth, at that level as well, speaking of divine order, this is the kind of stuff that kind of the intelligence of the universe that kicks in and cleanses the magnetism, the electromagnetism of each planet. And so all of this is also being cleansed as we are observing the planets supposedly starting to breathe, and you know, the waters are clearer, the animals are clear. We are also, this is happening at that level, and that has a tremendous impact on your being, on your well-being. The chemtrails, all of those things were all things that were invisible, supposedly, that you are absorbing and making you less immune. So you see, there's all kinds of levels of cleansing and upgrades that is happening at the same time during this time. So so in a weird way, you kind of want to be in your space. You kind of want to just like, let me just retract and regroup and just kind of, you know, be in my space and allow all of this, you know, the mess down here, great, agenda, great, whatever. And up there, the cleansing, the purifying, the clearing, the earth, all of this is all happening at the same time. Do you see how, in a strange way, it's very chaotic and scary and weird, but in a strange way, it's pretty extraordinary? Do you start to see, and again, go back to the question, why did I come here? What is my role? Do you think you came here to be drawn to get stuck in these patterns, in these old systems that are based on control and fear and fear and fear and more fear, and be dragged into it and just kind of get wasted like that? I don't think you came to do that. I think these are, I don't like the word challenges, and I don't like the word tested, because I think daily life in physical form is a test already. So it's not a test, it's an experience. You came for this crazy, crazy experience so that you master who you are, so that you learn to navigate the worst case scenario possible, to bring it back to your higher consciousness and know how you can master whatever is happening in your body, around your body, in your environment. And this is the time. This is it. In other words, we came for this. This is it. Make sense? Questions?
Absolutely. Got a couple more here, Caroline. T. Pacheco asks, will everyone eventually get this upgrade?
Yes. So what I'm saying is, everybody who's also asking, who's not. So look at this. If you are in fear and thinking about, oh my God, this is the end of the world, and this is going to happen, you know, and am I going to get this, and I'm going to get this, everybody's going to get, you know, if you're in that state, then you're probably not open. That's why I'm saying, put this a big sticker on your computer. What is my role on this planet today? You know, as soon as you go there, it kind of like brings you back to this bigger picture. Then you're out of the fear. Then you are open to receive, because it's all vibration. You see, it's like it's happening universally. So it's almost like if you're looking away, if you're not wanting it, you're not believing it, then it could be all around you. It could be all over you, and you're not getting it because you're not. So it's you. Begin to ask the question. Begin to ask, what is my role, and how am I going to master whatever's thrown at me? I'm going to navigate through this, and I'm here to serve a higher purpose. And boom, you're gonna, now some people are more sensitive than others, and that's the reason why they're gonna feel more stuff in their body than others. Okay, next.
Really good. What are your thoughts on the Starlink satellites, the interconnected networked satellites that are more and more being launched today by Elon Musk's company?
Yeah, what is the purpose of these satellites? What is the official purpose? Do we know?
I think it's networked internet or communication, but I'm not certain myself.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This is all as much as Elon Musk is, sounds very futuristic and looks very futuristic, but it's really, I'm sorry to say, it's very old technology. It's old paradigm. Everything that's based on propulsion, on shooting stuff in space, all of that stuff is old paradigm and will not work. All of it out to facilitate 5G. Thank you. And so, so eventually, none of this, all of this will be obsolete because it's part of the old paradigm, keeping everything contained in one network where one person, figuratively speaking, can control the internet. And think about this. Right now, we're doing this over the internet, whatever. But we're totally not free. Even though we're saying what we want, whatever. But somebody could just like press a button and off we go. So does that sound like a free society? Does that sound? So what I'm saying is, whoever is creating technology that is based on the same principle, where it's always one organization, one person, one who only can access that thing at the expense of everybody else, it will become obsolete. It will become obsolete. You cannot have a control-based technology and free energy at the same time. And when you have free energy, you have communication system, of course, energy, power, to power your house, whatever, food, water, you have everything that comes with it. And now you are totally free. And so that's what I feel like it's just not going to work. Let's keep sending rockets all you want. It's old technology. All right.
And I jumped on the website real quick, Caroline.
Yeah.
And according to the website, the satellites will create a global internet network accessible from any place on Earth. And thanks again, Sue, Nayla, and Kim for helping me out and correcting me in chat as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A communication system that connects everybody. But who controls it? Elon Musk? Why? Why is it? Why one person has to control what, a system, every single system? It doesn't work this way on other planets. Let's not go there, but we'll have a conversation about this another time. But the idea is that you are able to log into a free network, like something where you can maneuver and control from anywhere as you wish, without any log in this and what is your password? Are they going to give us password? How many more passwords are they going to give us? I mean, it's like everything has a login and a user word and blah blah blah. Do you not feel this is so old? I mean, it's just like, I feel like when I go further in the future and I see the society on that how it operates, we are so I mean, and the 5G, we think it's like such an advanced, like super wow sexy thing that's going to communicate with the whole planet, or connect all the machines, the computer. I'm going to walk in the house and have the dishwasher come on and the stove come on and cook my pizza, whatever. I mean, yeah, it sounds kind of cool, but it's still technology that's based on satellite systems and a structure that is not free, based on free energy. So for those who are, the free energy to me is based on, I don't know if I'll get into this like real quick, but it's not really part of this conversation. But when we talk about free energy, the energy in the universe is provided by the universe itself. It's contained within its own fabric, which is the most abundant element in the universe is hydrogen. So the free energy has to be based on something that is naturally occurring in the in the cosmos, which is hydrogen. But then it has to do with light technology, UV, not UV, infrared lights, which anyway, it's information. It's not energy the way we think of it, like propulsion or creating magnet, like from the magnetism. I've seen some types of free energy that's based on magnetism. It doesn't mean it doesn't work, but that magnetism is still based on forcing and creating a force. And that's not how what real free energy works. Is there's no force. Actually, it's a cycle. The energy comes in, it feeds your phone or whatever, and it goes back out. It's a cycle, a natural cycle of things. Just like a plant receives the energy, lives from the sun into the earth and out back. It's that sort of free energy systems that are the real free energy, just as an FYI. So that's the reason why, yeah, but the thing shouldn't be alarmed. Again, this is where if you keep the larger perspective, the bigger picture, you make a choice, and it helps you. It helps you shift from I'm in fear, I came to come and suffer like everybody else, or wait, I came to recognize the conflict, the contrast, recognize the craziness, recognize the fake everything, fake information, and make my own decision. That's the reason why I made this film, by the way, Superhuman. This is not just a film, and this is the reason why we're teaching these classes. Just give me some time, I'm putting it together, about telekinesis and remote viewing and all that stuff. These are new techniques. These are just tools to bring it back to consciousness, to your ability to master whatever is happening for you. And so anyway, okay, did I answer that question, Michael? Anything else?
Absolutely, it does. A lot of great comments, but not many other questions. Just people just want to make sure that they shouldn't be alarmed, but that it's a scary time right now, so it's difficult not to. People are just concerned in general, but a very positive, great chat, very thoughtful guests in chat today.
Great. So yeah, again, so I'm wondering, with everything that I mentioned, if it's helped you feel not alarmed. I mean, again, like when I watch the news and to see like what's going on, like, this governor, now we can go out or we can't go out or whatever, or, the number of deaths. I don't know about you, but these numbers just don't feel right to me. I mean, I'm not saying Corona doesn't exist and people aren't dying. I'm saying the numbers don't make sense. It feels like exaggerated, and I feel like it's like so if somebody has a heart condition, really bad heart condition, and then they get the Corona and they go to the hospital and they die. So did they die from the Corona, or did they die from the heart problem? Think about that for a second. So they get labeled as Corona. And so I don't know about that. Like, the truth is, yes, of course, the Corona is probably like the last straw, and that was it. It's like the body couldn't take it anymore. But it doesn't mean that the Corona, like, it wouldn't kill somebody who didn't have the heart condition. So what does that tell you? And so what I'm saying is, I think, in fact, I know a doctor who told me that a lot of deaths are also being labeled as Corona. So this is an insider or whatever. And so the point is, when you, the question is, should we be alarmed? Like, even when I turn on and I see these numbers and I see this, and wash your hands and do that, and now it's airborne. So anybody can get it. Everybody is a danger. Even if you got it, you can still get it again. And and it's airborne. So what do? Like, you put yourself in a closet and so the reaction, what I'm trying to say is the first reaction, it's normal to have that first anxiety, like, whoa, I mean, is it really that bad? I feel sorry for all these doctors and nurses and stuff. So it's normal to have these reactions, and it's normal also to have those moments of, again, depression or weirdness, but when you go there, when you find yourself there, say, recognize, go, okay, you know, this triggered all this fear in me. So let me just chill, do the meditation. I did this incredible meditation. Please, let's post it when we're done. In my last talk, it works so well. It shifts every cell in your body from the vibration of fear, whatever. It puts you back into this very kind of hopeful, very empowered state. So please make sure you do that. And then when you bring yourself back to that point, then ask the question, okay, so what is my role today? Why did I mean, like, what is my next step within this new story? You know, this is a story that is being that is unfolding, and so it's still your choice to decide how you're gonna feel. Or I mean, so you can't make a choice. Also, you don't want to make a choice when you're feeling so bad. So you have to shift yourself. And like I said, even me, I go sometimes, like, I have those feelings, you know, and but I still, you know, manage. The more you do that, the faster you get back to this 0 point, so that you can launch yourself to the next step, next level. Okay. And what else?
Yeah, and just everybody in chat is saying how helpful this was.
Okay.
That it really gives people a positive frame of mind, that it validates a lot of other things that they're hearing, and that they think that you should do this live at least once a week.
Yeah, so I will try. You know, I've been working on several things. First of all, the film, you know, we're preparing. I had to do some things there, promotion material. But it's very exciting. Again, it's you know, it's going to be available everywhere, all languages. So that's what we're working on. And also the classes. I know we've had some website things, and so I had to work on some things. So just be patient with me, okay? I had to do a lot of readjustments and stuff. Oh, another quick thing that I will try to do them once a week, and if I miss a week, sorry, but I'll do my best. So also another quick thing that I was mentioning about the upgrade. It's not just an upgrade, but it's also like a reconfiguration. So if you start to feel like your body is changing in the sense that you no longer can eat certain foods that you used to eat, like all of a sudden some things just make you feel sick or something, this upgrade is not just like, hey, just raising your vibration. It's a whole new configuration that is changing even on a DNA level. And so so just make a note of that and go, huh, interesting, I've been eating this thing, you know, for a long time, and all of a sudden I can't eat it and I'm attracted to something else. So again, like, just go back and tune into it and see. But that is also, I noticed something that is happening big time right now. So that's what I'm saying, like, focus on you're being reconfigured completely, you're being completely upgraded and you know, doing all of that during this time, which is extraordinary. What I'm saying is it's preparing you to be able to navigate. All right. Okay, next. Anything else, or are we good? Or
that's it.
Okay, awesome.
Really good talk.
Awesome, fantastic. Okay, guys, I'm so glad you joined me today. We're going to post that meditation. I recommend that you please share this link with all your friends. It's free, as you know. And please share that meditation. And the YouTube channel, we're also kind of going to be posting more and more stuff. All right, guys. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.